teacher keeps throwing away boys' lunch when parents realize why they call 911. Mike was worried when his parents asked about the lunch scenario. Anthony was concerned and decided to contact the school. However, the principal had no idea what was happening. They questioned Mike's classmates and found that he had never brought lunch from home. Anthony thought maybe something happened to Mike on his way to school. Anthony talked to the principal about his concerns. The principal said they would help figure out what was going on. When they asked Mike about the food, he started crying and didn't say anything. The next day, another teacher mentioned noticing a new substitute teacher acting weird around Mike, which gave them a clue. Clive, the substitute teacher, was brought to the principal's office. When he saw Anthony, he acted differently. The principal asked about Mike, but Clive said he didn't know anything. However, Clive didn't seem very believable. The principal wanted to talk to Clive alone, and Anthony agreed. But when another teacher came to talk to Clive, Anthony felt more sure that Clive was hiding something. He told the other teacher that he suspected Clive was up to no good. Later, Anthony went back to the principal's office. The principal said they couldn't do anything because there wasn't proof. Since Mike wouldn't say what was happening and Clive kept saying he didn't know, they couldn't do much. Over the next few days, the situation appeared to worsen. Mike refused to talk to his parents, giving the impression that Anthony's visit to the principal worsened the situation. Anthony couldn't take it anymore and decided to take matters into his own hands. The next day, after class, he entered Clive's classroom and observed shock on his face. When he questioned Clive, the substitute instructor appeared calm, but he hinted that not everything was as it appeared. This confused Anthony even more, and the entire interaction felt strange to him. Clive's words kept echoing in Anthony's mind during the long drive home. Clive had assured him everything was fine with Mike, but Anthony felt it wasn't true. He felt even worse than when he left for school. When Anthony reached home, he had an idea. He searched Clive's name online and found only one result, a previous school where Clive had worked. Anthony decided to contact that school for more information. What he discovered made him even more worried. Unable to contain his concern any longer, Anthony asked Mike during family dinner if Clive was doing anything they needed to know about. Mike seemed terrified and stuttered, repeating the same words Clive had said. Anthony wasn't convinced. It seemed like Mike had been told what to say, like it was a secret. Anthony knew something strange was happening, and it had to do with his son's teacher. He realized he needed to act fast for his son's sake. He realized he needed to approach the situation carefully. So, he decided to start with the principal, the top authority at the school. Even though he didn't have an appointment, Anthony went to the principal's office. Anthony introduced himself and shared his worries about the teacher. He told the principal about his suspicions, but the principal said they couldn't do anything without proof. Since the principal wouldn't act without evidence, Anthony decided to take matters into his own hands. He came up with a plan to secretly record what was going on at school by placing something in his son's backpack. The next day, he dropped his son off at school and quietly carried out his plan to uncover the truth. Anthony had cleverly put a recording device in his son's backpack to capture his son's interaction with the teacher. Later that day, after listening to the recording, Anthony picked up Mike from school and quietly took the recorder from his backpack. He inquired about his son's day, but his expression remained melancholy. He later heard the recording and felt he had made the right decision. Based on what he had heard, he realized he needed to act. Anthony called the principal and set up a meeting for the following day. He claimed to have proof that may blow the case wide open. He was as confident as ever, knowing that the teacher's secret would be revealed. The next day, Anthony met with Mike and the principal in his office. Clive, the teacher, entered as well. Anthony played the recording. Anthony wanted the teacher to be startled and scared when he heard his voice on the recorder. The teacher's face became pale, and Anthony felt relieved that the truth would be revealed. They listened to the recording and heard Mike giving his lunch to Clive, who then gave it to another boy who couldn't afford his lunch. But it would be the ultimate twist, a good deed. In front of everyone, Mike confessed that he and his teacher had been helping a classmate by giving them lunch every day. The classmate couldn't afford lunch on their own. Mike felt good about helping someone in need, and his teacher, Clive, was proud of him. But Mike felt shy and didn't want people to know. So, Anthony started packing 2 lunches for Mike to keep their kindness private.